RevOps, I feel it's a term a lot of people say, but maybe don't fully understand, or encompasses too many things or not enough things depending on the person. So maybe let's start there. Like, what are some of the misconceptions you hear when people talk about RevOps?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think one of the reasons why people have such a hard time pinning it down is it is an inherently cross-functional function, right? And so a lot of times they are supporting or partnering with a bunch of different internal teams. And so what RevOps looks like at a particular company might be very different when you go to a different company. Right. And so I think people bring with them their perception of what they thought it was supposed to be like, whether that was a super high functioning, amazing team or a team that was kind of in the background that people thought was like a bottleneck that wasn't helping them. You know, people kind of bring those preconceived notions with them to different places. So the way that I think about it, regardless of whether you're a centralized function, a decentralized function, who you report to, all those different things, the goal of RevOps should be to transform siloed, unpredictable businesses into high achieving, scalable, and predictable revenue machines, right? And if you are searching for those outcomes as opposed to like these bullets in my job description, usually you're headed in the right direction. And so I think thinking about the outcomes that the team can create for your company, as opposed to like, yeah, those are the people who build my reports or like fix my Salesforce issues. To me, that's a good start in the right direction towards building a really strong RevOps team.
Yeah, I think the scalable piece is key there too, because I've been at companies where maybe we brought in RevOps too late, and then they have to scale the hot mess that me and other non-operations people have made. That it worked, you know, when you're a 20-person company, but then when you're a 100-person, 200-person company, it falls apart. So how do you think through, like, when should RevOps be brought in?
The worst part about the scenario you just described is a lot of times people have to completely tear down anything that's in place and rebuild from scratch. And so I think a big benefit to getting ops in early is you get kind of the right foundations in place, because the decisions you make in those early days that you're describing could have multi-year ripple effects for the positive or the negative, depending on the thought that's put into them, right? And so to answer your question, I think that once you have made the transition away from founder-led sales, you have some sort of repeatable sales process, and a prerequisite to that is kind of having product market fit. Then you're ready for RevOps, right? If your founder's still the primary seller and you're kind of, you know, feeling through the darkness of finding product market fit, you probably don't need it just yet. But once you have some sort of repeatable sales motion, it's time to bring that person in. And I think those very early ops folks, even if they're just a team of one, they can start to look around corners for what are the things that we want to instrument? What are the things just that we want to count in our funnel, so that when people start to have these questions, we're being thoughtful and we're looking around corners about what the organization's needs will be 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now. And they can also start to kind of instill this more operational thinking within the organization. I think CEOs, early revenue leaders don't necessarily realize how much they can dictate what the culture of the organization will be in those early days, right? And so I think it's important that they set the tone that like, hey, we're actually truly going to be a data-driven organization. And our investment in ops is the way to prove that, right? Everybody, if you go on people's websites and you're looking at career pages, like everybody says they're a data-driven organization, but it's when you get under the hood, you can actually tell whether people are or not. And I think that early investment in getting somebody in there who can be forward thinking is a really great way to prove that.